All right, welcome to Read Aloud Wednesday. We're going to read a text together and work on some questions. So let's look at the text and let's read it together. When balloons matter. It was my birthday last Sunday, so my parents threw me a big bash. But all I could focus on were the balloons. Why do they matter? Well, I'm a budding scientist who knows the principle that gas fills up the volume in an available space. My brother blew up the balloons, so they were mostly filled with carbon dioxide from his lungs. I just couldn't help but wonder what might happen if we unknotted those balloons. So if you haven't followed along with us, we're on paragraph 2. Pick up with us and read with me, okay? So I designed an experiment to test out this principle, recording its results in this science journal. The technical requirements were pretty simple, as were the supplies. Dad supervised me, checking that I did everything safely, but he was curious too. First, I carefully poured vinegar into a plastic bottle. Next, I dropped baking soda into the balloon with a funnel. Then, I wound a twist tie around the balloon's neck and placed its lip over the bottle's mouth. I removed the tie and lifted the balloon to ensure that the baking soda drifted into the bottle. All right, if you're not following along, make sure you're with us. We're on paragraph 4. The vinegar began to fizz and the balloon expanded. That's because when baking soda and vinegar combine, a chemical change occurs and they release carbon dioxide, which filled the balloon. I removed the balloon from the bottle and closed it tightly with a rubber band. When I batted the balloon with my hand, it maintained its shape. Last paragraph. Lastly, I took off the rubber band. The balloon immediately flew up into the air and then dropped to the floor. Deflated. The trapped gas now filled a larger space, the kitchen. My observations confirmed my belief about the behavior of gases. That was the best birthday present of all. All right, now we're going to answer some questions. Make sure that you write the answers down as we go through the questions together. Number 1, what does the word principle mean as it is used in the text? Now, the word principle is in the first paragraph and in the second paragraph. So paragraph 1 and paragraph 2 has the word principle. So look back in the paragraph for your answer. All right, so is it A law that is set in place for everyone to follow? B, a law or rule that explains how something works? C, a law that is used to make sure no one speeds? D, a law that requires a signature. All right, question number 2. What does the word technical mean as it is used in the text? Now, technical is in paragraph 2. So go back and look in paragraph 2 to help you figure out what that word means. That means use those context clues, right? Use that word relationship, background knowledge to figure out what that word means. Use the clues in the text. A, to do with special surfaces. B, to do with a recipe. C, to do with an experiment. D, to do with a scientific subject. All right, number 3, how does the text structure contribute to the overall meaning of the text? Now remember that word contribute, we can say add. How does it add to the text? A, it describes an experiment to show matter. B, it compares a volume of different balloons to show how matter works. C, it shows steps of an experiment to show the effect of gases. D, it compares the volume of balloons and vinegar. All right, make sure you're writing down your answers as we go through these questions. Question number 4. How does the author's description of the process of exploring gases contribute to the plot of the literary text? So they're talking about the author's description of the process. A, by demonstrating the importance of safety. B, by describing the steps to the technical process of observing matter. C, by showing the effect of vinegar on a balloon. D, by contrasting the different types of matter. All right, make sure you've wrote your answers down